So you have Cerulean Blue and Ultramarine Violet, Cadmium Orange, and Titanium White. So for the clouds over here, we're going to use the combination of Cerulean Blue, Titanium Buff, Cerulean Blue, Ultramarine Violet, and gray this color and tone it down with Cadmium Orange, of course, with white. So I'll do the mixture right now, and then we'll start from this part and go over all the way down to the horizon line. I'm going to take Cerulean Blue. I'm going to take quite a bit of it because it's a big area here. Most of these clouds have the Cerulean Blue and purple, that gray purple undertone. They're not white, 100% white. So I'm going to take these two, and I'm just kind of mixing this color and taking orange, cadmium orange, which is the opposite of blue, and just mix it in. That will tone it down and makes it really dark. We don't want this dark color. So I'm going to take a bit more orange, put it in. And then now I'm going to grab white. And that is when I'm going to see if the color is right. It might need a little bit more purple at this point. Touch a little bit more. Yeah. But at least these colors are toned down. They're going to dry darker. We will highlight them if they do. Take a bit more orange, put it in here to gray this color more. Yeah, like that. That's a good color. Start from this corner. Add a bit of white. You know, acrylic dries darker, so it's better if we add white. And now you know, the color that we added as the orange wash on top of that we primed the canvas in helps toning down these colors too. White, I'm adding white over, it's still wet, so it works very well. All of these clouds, the bottom part of the clouds are darker than the upper part. It's a cloudy day. But we will be using cerulean blue and white as well in between the clouds. There will be another layer. So if you're seeing a lot of orange, that's okay. We will be adding more layers of paint. Because if I want to highlight this like a really nice kind of a white cloud on top, I need to wait for these colors to dry. Otherwise, the white, the color underneath will take over. I won't be able to see the white properly. While this is drying, I take cerulean blue, mix it with white. I'll go in between. It will look much brighter when I put white, when I highlight the clouds. I'm dragging my brush on the canvas horizontally. Better let it dry a bit before I continue, because this way colors are lifting a bit right now. All right, let's add some. So I'm adding a bit of white now to ultramarine violet or cerulean blue. It doesn't matter. I'm just highlighting the clouds, but I don't want to use pure white. So I'm using white with a bit of cerulean or a bit of ultramarine violet. And I'm using a round brush, and I'm just going to try to kind of drag my brush around. I'm not doing a lot of blending. Just to get some clouds, lighter clouds happening here, because acrylic dries darker and you have to adjust all the time the value. So these whites, if you're seeing white, it has a tiny touch of, the white has a bit of purple in it. Sometimes I use purple, sometimes I use white, blue, sorry, blue. It looks, maybe it might look too white on the monitor, but it actually has some color in it. And I'll be going in and adding. So now I have this color here that is a kind of a grayish white. So I'm going to take a bit of white now, just white, and just kind of highlight the top, only the top, to keep the bottom part darker. I'm going to go in with the blue later on. So this is not, these are not the final colors. Might be final for the clouds, but not the sky. Dip my brush in a bit of water. And I've noticed that the clouds they become a little bit darker at the bottom. Not darker, but they're not pure white at the bottom. They're light, but they're not pure white. This white with some purple. It doesn't really matter how these clouds are painted, as long as you have a nice soft sky. Interesting. Let's add a bit of blue now, because I've been using too much purple. So now I'm switching to white and blue. I don't want to make the sky extremely busy. because we have so much here happening here, but a nice, interesting background for the sky. So now I'm going to go back, pick up Cerulean Blue, white. This is a soft blue, and it looks really good. Let's add a tiny bit of more cerulean in here, so the blue is not exactly the same everywhere. This is a little bit darker in here, just for fun, just to make it more interesting. And then I'm going to go back to light blue in between these clouds here. Not trying to make it look like the picture 100%. If it looks good to me, if I like it the way it looks, that's fine. I'm not matching the sky in the reference. I'm just giving a feel to what I'm seeing there. So when I'm painting this, I can see that I had 1, 2, 3 clouds in here, white. So what I'm doing is I'm softening in between, so I don't have a kind of a pattern in there. Looks nice, should look nice, but it shouldn't be like a specific pattern. I'm blending a little bit more so it doesn't look choppy. And bringing the colors together. So there's not a lot of light, light and dark, dark in between. So it's more like a soft pastel color in the sky. Let's take a bit of that purple. mix it with blue and just kind of soften all this here. I'm just softening colors in between. So like adding pastel colors in between. So there's nothing kind of heavy pattern happening in the sky. And of course, acrylic dries, and when it dries, it creates a pattern. It has sometimes hard edges that need to be adjusted. So that's what I'm doing. That's why I keep working on it. And because it keeps, when it dries, when acrylic dries, it just creates its own kind of interesting pattern. Let's get some pure blue, light blue in between. And just leave it like that. So I'm going to be using here, I used for this mountain in the back, just cerulean blue and ultramarine violet. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to work on the water because we have the colors and it's just a reflection of the sky. So I'm going to take some blue, white, and I'm going to put some purple in it, a bit of purple. This blue and white in the water looks grayish to me. So this is cerulean blue, like we did for the sky, ultramarine violet, touch, very small amount of orange, just to tone it down, gray it a bit, so it's not vibrant. So desaturate the color a bit. and white. And that's a good start. I know there's a reflection of the stone in the water right here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do white, not white, I mean this color, which is the purple, and then I'll put the stone over when I work on the steps. So for now, we'll just put this color. Start like that, go down, darken a bit. Let's take this purple, a little bit of blue, a little bit of orange. Touch very small amount of orange. Yeah, that's good. All right, that's like a dark, it's a gray purple. Yeah, that's good. Because I can highlight this, you know, exactly what I did with the sky. I'm going to go in a bit. You see what I'm doing? Yeah. I'm going to try to add a bit of cerulean now. This cerulean is mixed with a bit of that kind of a grayish color over there next to it. It's not 100% white. Doesn't matter what you get right now, it's okay, because we are going to go over this. Right. I'm going to take purple and blue, mix them. I'm going to take orange, a bit of orange, put it in. Oh, and darken this area too. Let's put some white in it. Doesn't have to be that dark. It is dark in here, and it's more like a earthy tone in this area, but we'll just kind of, for now, use the combination of purple and blue and some orange. Okay. Let's let it dry now, for now, and then we'll go back to it. Okay, so I have cerulean blue and ultramarine violet, mixing it with white, mixing these two colors with white. So tone down my white, and I'm just going to come here and then add, take a bit of more ultramarine. Yeah, this is the second layer. I'm not worried about this too much, because there'll be a reflection of the stone in the water eventually. I'm just going to come from this part. And then I'm going to grab white at this point and add white on top. Because the paint is still wet, my white is not stark. It's mixing with the color underneath. Again, let's go back to blue and purple. Come here. Let's add a bit of more purple. Again, take white, mix it in. Now, at this point, I'm starting to see more in the reference. I'm starting to see more blue and white, which is nice. I like that because it just kind of reflects the sky a little bit more. And I'm just going to mix it. Mix blue and white. Cerulean blue and white. Let's get some more blue. And let's do that. So put some blue in here. Just kind of a couple of brush strokes in between, so it doesn't look like it's just purple and white. Introduce a bit of blue in there and continue down Now at one point, and I like that the first layer, by the way, is dark, or it's a purple. So I'm putting blue over purple right now, which is great. Like blue is not too strong. Purple is toning it down. Now I'm going to take a bit more purple in there at that point, at this point, add it here, start moving more into purple. It has now purple and blue. Let's darken this. Let's darken it on this side a little bit more. And at this point, I'm seeing that, because I'm darkening this, I'm seeing that when I'm mixing blue and purple, I'm getting very vibrant kind of purple in here. So I'm going to take a bit of orange, put it in, and that will tone down that vibrant color. There's nothing wrong with the vibrant color. It's just we're gonna. I'm thinking about later on. We're gonna be using colors for the boats. So, and I like this feel of a little bit darker on this side. Yeah, that's good. That's a good color. So this is, by the way, before I continue talking, this is purple, blue, and a bit of orange with a bit of white. And it's actually perfect. Now, overall, this, we're going to have some, of course, some reflection of the boats, whatever the boats are reflecting in there, like the reflection of the boats will make a big difference too. It's not going to be just purple in here. I'm adding a little bit of blue, so we don't use just purple all the way. We don't want the same color going all the way. So I'm changing. Sometimes I change. Sometimes I add some blue. Sometimes I add more purple. But in general, I'm keeping this area darker, because whatever is happening on the boat is going to reflect here too later on. Let me put a bit of orange. Yeah, good. Okay. Of course, acrylic dries darker, so I'm trying to adjust the value right now. Okay, now let's go back. Wash my brush, pick up some of these colors in here, some blues, more blues in here right now. And just come back here and push the blue in a bit. Let's take more blue and white. Blue and white again. The more reflection you have in the water, the nicer it looks. Let's push, let's take a bit of more white and mix it with this blue, and then just go in here and actually, I think purple will look nicer with blue and purple and white. There. Yeah. Let's take white. I'm highlighting a bit. I'm taking a little bit more white into this because the color underneath is still wet. So it's blending nicely. Let's take some blue and white and go in. Yeah, that's good. Purple. Let it dry. This area is a bit lighter than this right here.